we're gonna talk about Mr. Derrick Jaxn. Yeah.
Oh,
So let me just give
take a sip of
y'all
that.
a quick rundown of what has been going on. Okay, just in case you were living under a rock. Okay. So he first confesses to cheating, and he was known for criticizing Pastor John Gray. He was known for putting out a video criticizing Pastor John Gray for cheating on his wife. Derrick Jaxn is a relationship coach, very well known, apparently. No shade, but but yeah. So that's why he felt like he had to reach out to his audience and try to speak about that. He gave the whole story of his breakup and reconciliation, and there was a whole story with God at the center of that. And then he did a follow-up reaction video of the video that he posted, and he spoke in third person, and then he released his book Heal Together. Now I just want to ask you guys your thoughts on this situation.
First of all, it's straight nonsense. First and foremost, what is this foolishness? And it's really not even that surprising to me if I'm 100% honest, because a lot of these people who claim to be the relationship gurus, like I've seen so many different iterations of this man on different timelines, and they're all trash. Like they're all trash. They all have like running from sexual assault cases. They're all like serial cheaters. They're Steve Harvey, which is also bad. So it's just like I don't even know why y'all even ask these people's opinions because they're all trash. So this is just another one for the trash heap.
Do you feel similarly, Ty?
I do. I agree with everything Marcus just said. Because I remember first seeing his face or whatever, like his like car videos that he was doing on Facebook, and I was just like, okay, here's just this handsome black man talking about relationships, and he's using his like attractiveness to try to sell something, and I'm like, okay, yeah, you and everybody else trying to sell something because they fine, whatever. But it was just the whole sit down with his wife, and just like that whole thing playing out. I was like, sis, you got why? First of all, they got you in here in your bonnet. He ain't right for that. Number two, like we love the bonnets. We understand historical reference for bonnets, but still, come on. But it's just like he having you looking stupid, and you taking it, and it's just and the fact that there's so many people who are looking up to this person. I'm like, what experience or what know-how do you have to be giving advice about relationships when you can't even salvage your own?
Absolutely none.
Yeah, I think that was the biggest thing. It's like, it's just a shock for a lot of people who may have followed him. And it's just like, okay, so now you're a hypocrite because you're talking about, relationships, and then you can't even be in your own relationship correctly.
Yeah. You can't even stay. You can't even stay home.
I do want to correct you guys because it's not a bonnet; it's a helmet of helmet of justice or whatever that was.
Not the helmet of justice. Lord. I did see that. I saw that, and I was just like, "Ma'am, well, we're not going to do that."
Absolutely not.
So while what she said was funny, we are not laughing at her necessarily because there's a lot of stuff. I'm speaking for us, but I think you guys would agree that what she said was a little funny, but there's a lot that goes on into this, and I want to play a TikTok that somebody showed that kind of lays it out.
When her husband responds that she's not wearing a bonnet, she's wearing a hat, he leaves a laughing emoji. A lot of people expressed concern for his wife in the comments, so he tags his wife and comments, "Blink twice if you need help, sis, LOL." Once again, this is called minimizing. He's trying to pretend that everything's all hunky-dory on their side. They're just joking and laughing together. Well, let's see how she's doing.
How prepared are you to stand on the spoken word of God and to proclaim victory over sin? And I spill the blood of the enemy. You see a bonnet, I see the helmet of salvation.
Again, he has convinced her that they are fighting together against the evil that has tried to infiltrate their marriage, and that is the actual problem.
I had to pour another one up. That was too much.
Oh, you didn't see that?
I did not see that. Wow. Oh, sis.
Yeah, yeah. What do you think about like what his wife Danae is going through with this situation? It seems kind of sad, actually.
It is. There's no kind about it. It is because it's just like for me. This still kind of connects back to the previous thing because it's we get mad at Lil Nas X for sort of like kind of pushing back against this religious doctrine that's been forced on people, but this is what he's pushing back against to an extent. Because look at this woman sitting up here talking about the helmet of salvation and talking about fighting a spiritual war against her husband's cheating ass. Like what? Like what? You got this woman out here looking like she's reading off cue cards, like looking like Olivia when she was captured in whatever season of Scandal that was, holding up the newspaper trying to read with her hair dismayed. Like what are you doing, bro? And I'm sorry, like he ain't that fine, and I refuse to believe that he's that good.
No. So Ty, what was, because it sounded like you knew what the helmet of salvation was. What part of that did you not see?
Wait, what?
I saw like I saw the helmet of salvation and those jokes, but I didn't see the comments like that he was making. And that she pointed out, like he's like basically laughing at her too with the rest of social media. And I was like, that is so messed up. That is your wife. Like they're literally getting on her more so than him because she's the one that's staying. Yeah. Like, how is that? How are you being her husband and you're allowing all this to happen? I was like, you don't love her. You don't care for her. And it is. And someone said Stockholm syndrome in the chat. It's giving hardcore Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah. I just think it's really sad. Like what you guys said. It's just really sad what she's had to deal with and what she's going through. Obviously, there are some issues that she's dealing with, and I hope that she gets help for that because he seems to be a lot more mentally aware than maybe she does. And he definitely seems to kind of hold some kind of a power. I'm not saying it's a definite because I don't know their situation like that. But based on what we've seen, based on the way that her just coming back to this and her whole mindset around the Christian element of a marriage, it's just very troubling. And I hope that she gets I hope that she talks to somebody who can kind of help her through that and get her away from Derrick Jaxn, because that's not cool.
She needs some friends, some real friends.
Yeah.
That's what she needs.
And it's a shame because there are a lot of jokes that are being said about her, not so much about him. And I think that his following went up. It's just, it's just very strange. It's just very strange. And then to think that at the start of this, like the only reason he said anything was really to kind of get these book sales up. Because now, you know what I'm saying? Like now he's, at least that's what it looks like to me. You know what I'm saying? So,
I mean, to quote Offset, they do anything for clout. Just gotta say it. People will do anything for clout. So you're gonna use your broken marriage to sell some books, and letting your wife be a casualty in the process, and that's your business. That's your business.
I can't help but laugh because that's my favorite go-to, and I feel like I was probably gonna say that somewhere in this conversation.
Let me go to these comments. Mama Shay is saying, I want whoever her pastor is to call her up and tell her that that's not God.
That is not of God.
I know the pastor saw it. If she's part of the flock, the pastor needs to step in. I agree with you there. LT Willio is saying she even posted on IG how she was insecure and had issues with men. He probably targeted her and groomed her.
It looks like it.
And he's saying because he has her thinking this is all in the fight for their love through God. There were also some comments about her. Yeah, go ahead, Marcus.
I would say I actually want to bring up what Focus just said because that's why I am. Like, we would think that the pastor would step in for this, but no. For a lot of these pastors, this is exactly right. The husband is the head. You fall in line, and if your husband is going astray, it's something that you haven't done. So you need to do better to try to keep your husband. So I don't know how much good the pastor stepping in really would do, to be honest.
That's very fair. Because if the shoe was on the other foot, oh, it would be hell. It would be hell on earth. It would be like, oh, she is everything but a child of God. And he's like, I deserve to leave you and leave you destitute and just broken because you went out of my house. You slept with another man. Like, no, it would have been just hell. So, yeah. No.
Wow. Well, yeah, I mean, I think you make good points there. I think also there were some IG posts that she had made talking about how she didn't like her dark skin, or what was it? She was maybe stalking other women, or really paying attention to like in graphic detail about what they did in porn and all that stuff. So yeah. Ty, if you missed it, I mean,
that's a mess. I don't get in straight nonsense, as Marcus said earlier. I truly don't get in straight nonsense. It's actually a blessing to not, because the only reason why I knew about it is because my straight counterparts on social media were talking about it. Because I was like, who that man in the car? Like I didn't even know he had that much of a following until all this like blew up. But
I ain't never seen that man before in my life. I was Kiki Palmer, like, sorry to this man.